Well, I'll show you how I sharpen a Scorp now, or an end shave. I think Ray Isles makes this one. He calls it an end shave. He's from England, maybe that's why he does that. And Bar Corton makes this one. He calls it a Scorp. They're both good tools. Bar's is hand forged and holds its edge just great. I'm going to show you how to sharpen Ray's, and it's because the method that I use is I reference off of this side, and since Bar's is hand forged, this side is not true. If I had a belt sander, I'd stick it on the belt sander and flatten it so I could get a true edge. So one day I'll take it to a buddy of mine's shop and I'll do that so I can get a better grind off of it, referencing off of that. But so that's why I'll grind this one for you and show you how to do that. Now, the first thing you might want to do with your tool is to true the inside out. So if you've got one of those things called a drill press, I don't have one, but it'd be nice to have a drill press, and you can put one of those sandpaper cylinders in there and just reference this straight on the table and just slick that inside up really nice. So that would be great. I've done it with stones, but it'd be much easier if you had a drill press. So that would be the I guess before we go to the grinder, that's about all the information I have, other than the fact that there must be a whole lot of ways to sharpen this tool, and this is not an easy tool to sharpen, but this method gets me there, so it might be a good one for you if you like it. Okay. I'm over here on the grinder, and I've got the tool rest set up where, as you can see, it's sloping down, and I'm referencing off of this side of the Scorp. I've got the wheel crowned, so I'm ready to start grinding it. As you've seen in some other segments, I will take this Sharpie and put black along the edge there to be able to see if I'm sitting up right on it. So I've got that set up, and the edge, typically I wouldn't regrind right now because I've just honed just a slight bit on this, so I didn't grind this too long ago. But I was carving a seat just the other day, a walnut seat from a tree that came out of my backyard, and I hit a nail right in the middle of that seat, and I took a chunk out of this thing. It's right there. It is deep, so I'm going to be grinding that out. So that's going to take quite a bit of grinding. In fact, there's more than one chunk. I actually hit the nail twice. Once would be excusable, but twice is not. Okay, so let's see. So this method came from Pete Goward. About 15 years ago, he called me up all excited on the phone and said, I figured out how to grind that Scorp. And he told me to do this. I've done it ever since. Slick, piece of cake, man. Okay, I still got a ways to go before I get that nick out of there. That thing is deep. So you want to keep it moving. You want to keep the tool moving. But way you'll burn it is to stay put in one spot. Not a lot of pressure, and just keep it moving, and you probably won't burn. Got a little burn right there at the edge. That's where you'll get one, is right there, because you hit that twice. You're actually hesitating and coming back this way, so you're sitting on that. No known uses for that corner anyway, besides cutting yourself. Nope, not there yet. Whew. A little bit more. There. So I got it mounted over here in this vise, but before we start honing it, I want to show you just how good that grind is with a close-up. If we can get that. I mean, you know, before Pete gave me that tip, it was I couldn't get a good grind on this thing at all, and now it is just absolutely perfect. The edge is even all the way around, and the hollow grind is just perfect. So I'll start honing it now. So you could use a variety of stones, but it's easier for me to feel the heel and the toe if I'm using something that's small. So I've got one of these little easy lap, they say fine grit things. When you first get them, they're fairly coarse, but this thing's been wore out for a long time. So instead of go buy another one, I rub it on my 1200 grit stone and just charge it with slurry off of the 1200 grit water stone. So that's what I'll do. So you see now it's got some slurry on it, and then I can really feel that heel and toe with this little stone. Can't get all the way around with my right hand. Go with my left. So the grind's just looking great. I've got a nice even line on the heel and a nice even shiny line that's on the toe coming around from the honing. Okay, let me wipe that clean and see what it's looking like. I think it's looking pretty good. So I'm going to switch to finer stone. I've got my 8,000 grit stone out here. Now this is one of those Easy Lap super fine, which like when you first get it, just like the red one, it's not so super fine. But this one's been wore out for a long time, and I've charged it. Let me get my water bottle here. I've charged it. I charge it with 8,000 grit off my water stone. Seems to work. You could keep doing this forever. Don't have to buy a new one. Okay, now I'm going to start turning the burr back, and you could use lots of round things for that. I'm going to use this cheap diamond knife sharpener thing I found at a junk store, 50 cents one day. And you want to hold it as flat as you can to not roll that edge over. Now I can feel the burr has been turned. So now we're going to be chasing that burr here back and forth till the thing falls off. It'll get smaller and smaller. But you don't want to break it off. Your edge will be serrated. Haven't turned it completely. It's smaller, quite a bit. Keeps getting a little smaller, a little smaller. Okay, I've got it to where there's just a little bit of a wire edge here and there. In fact, I can see it coming off right there. So I'm going to take it over, and you can keep going with the stone right now and just keep chasing that burr. And sometimes I do that, and sometimes I say I've just had enough. So I want to show you what I do when I say, God, I've chased that burr long enough. I hit it with the buffer just lightly, so I'll show you that. So the buffer can be misused. I even misuse it sometimes. Just rounds the edge over. It's hard to come back and find that edge after it's been rounded over by the buffer. But one is this tool works a little bit better if there's a slight convexness to the edge, or at least I think it does. And the buffer will do that. But I've waited until I've just got just the slightest amount of wire edge left there, and I'll be very careful with how I use it. So this is just on a cheap grinder that I actually I picked up at a yard sale from my neighbor who's filming this. In fact, I think I paid him $5 for it, and it's a 3600 RPM grinder. So that's all you need for something like this. And then compound. And I'll turn back that little bit of wire edge. Then I can usually see that wire edge in the light, which I can. Yeah, it's still there. Okay, let's go see how this works. Okay, so we'll put it to the ultimate test, which is a piece of white pine cutting on the end grain. Yep, see if I can actually. There we go. Some nice cuts right there. So, Lucy's ready to go.